Hey you guys, it's Toya and thank you for watching Toya JTV. Today I want to go over or give you 8 tips on how to get rid of your dry hair. Alright? If you have extremely dry hair, these tips will definitely help you because there's something on this list that you're not doing. Okay? The first thing that you should always be doing is drink plenty of water. Okay? Our bodies, our entire bodies, including our hair, needs a lot of water. If you're not getting the amount of water that you need internally, it's really nothing that you can do but just as far as putting stuff on the outside of your hair. Now, you can put different products on it, but you need to get to the root of the problem. If internally you're dry, you will notice that not only your hair is dry, but your skin is dry. If you part your hair, you will notice your scalp is dry. And if that's the case, you need to increase your water intake to your body weight in ounces daily. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you should be drinking 200 ounces of water per day. All right. And that's it sounds like a lot, but if you break it down, into especially into your meals or, just whenever you get thirsty, then it's really not that bad. What I do to help me with my water intake is every time I go to a fast food restaurant, or every time I go out to eat, and that includes fast food restaurants too, I will order a large water with my meal. Okay, so even if because I like to drink maybe like a juice or something with my meal, but after that then I'll just sip on the water until it's time to eat again. So most places give you like a large is like a 32 ounce, some places it's a 44 ounce, but 32 ounce, you could just get those throughout the day, and you couldn't easily get to your water intake. Okay, so if you break it down, or you can get one of those big coolers with the straws on it, and you can just but I don't like lugging around stuff like that all day. But if that's your thing, then that will help you to drink all your water, whatever works. But you definitely want to get those ounces in daily. Okay, the other way you can get internally get your hair to more shiny is by what you eat. So eating a lot of fruits, fresh vegetables, a lot of foods that are high in like vitamin E, vitamin A, B vitamins, protein. All of that is good for the hair as well. It's not it's not just the hair, but the hair benefits from you eating that way and drinking your water. Okay, now, if you have all of those things that you're doing correctly and your hair is still dry, then you want to look at the products that you're using. You want to use high quality hair products like the By L. Jones line of products. You want to make sure that you're getting what you need out of your hair products. If you are using all of the hair products that you use, preferably should be sulfate free, paraben free. Sulfates are very stripping, and they're known to dry the hair out. Sulfates are used in like dishwashing liquid, dishwashing detergent, and that's what helps to get the dishes and the clothes really clean. You ever notice if you wash your hair with wash your hands with like some dish soap, how dry they immediately become? Okay, that's because it has a lot of sulfates in them, and that's good when you're washing dishes. But when you're washing your hair, you don't want your hair to be stripped that way. So you want to use high quality products like By L. Jones products that do not strip your hair. All the products in my line are sulfate free, paraben free, and they include a lot of moisturizing agents inside them. Okay, so you want to use a line that is like that. Okay, also you want to always, this is the next one, you want to always use a leave-in conditioner. Now, I prefer the By L. Jones leave-in conditioner simply because it's in a spray bottle. It's very lightweight, so you can spray as much as you need to, and your hair will still have a lot of body and the moisture that it needs. I don't particularly care for cream leave-in conditioners on relaxed hair anyway, simply because it tends to weigh the hair down. Now on natural hair, it's wonderful, or if you use it on relaxed hair, you have to use it very sparingly, okay, because it's so heavy that it can and will weigh your hair down. I do like the Bio Jones leave-in conditioner because it comes in its liquid form, so and it's water based. Okay, so it has a lot, and it still has a lot of moisturizing ingredients inside it. So I mean, literally, I spray my hair down when I use that stuff, and my hair is never weighed down. But again, if you like the cream leave-in, just use it very sparingly. If you have natural hair and you're wearing your hair in its natural state, then it doesn't matter. You can be more generous with it. You know, because you're not wearing your hair straight, and it's not moving like this, then you're fine. Number 6, stop using grease. Okay, now I know a lot of us, and I say us because I am included, a lot of us were raised with, our mothers put grease in our hair. That was just the law of the land. You're gonna get your scalp grease, your hair grease. Every time you get your hair done, we need the grease, okay? Don't do this. What grease does is it's not a moisturizer, okay? What the grease does is it is so thick that it sits on top of your hair, and it actually stops any moisture from getting in, and it also stops moisture from getting out. That's why when you hear a lot of people say moisturize and seal, they're sealing it with grease. They're putting the moisturizer, okay? Notice I did not say the grease, but they're putting moisturizer on their hair, and then they want to seal it in with the grease because the grease is so thick that it provides a coating on top of the hair. It's almost like a lock. It doesn't let anything in, and it doesn't let anything get out. So a lot of times what happens is you will notice that if you use a lot of grease on your hair, I've heard people say, girl, I use grease all the time, and it just eat my hair up, and my hair's still dry. Okay, case in point, your hair is still dry because the grease is stopping the moisture from getting in. So in fact, you're probably noticing that your hair is even drier because you're stopping any moisture from getting inside your hair. And the more grease you use, the harder it is to get off your hair. I cannot tell you how many times I have shampooed clients' hair and the water literally just sits on top of their hair. You can see the grease, and then there's a layer of water that just sits on top of that. The water is not even penetrating their hair. So when you have to wash it like 1,000 times to get all of that grease off. And in that case, you do need to shampoo with some sulfates because you need all of that grease off of the hair. So stop using the grease, okay? Because it is not moisturizing. It just gives the illusion that it's moisturizing because it's shiny. It's petroleum, so it's shiny. So you're thinking since it's shiny that it's moisturizing. But that is not the case. It's actually blocking any moisture from getting in, and it's blocking any moisture from getting out. A lot of times, like for instance, if you have really dry skin, I recommend that you put a very good moisturizer on your skin, then use a little bit of grease or Vaseline to put on top of that, just a little bit, and that will seal that moisture in. But you don't want to do that for your hair, okay? Because again, it's trapping, it's not letting any moisture inside your hair at all. So when you try to go back and put like a leave-in conditioner or a regular conditioner or a deep conditioner in your hair, that it's just sitting on top of the grease. It's not doing anything for your hair. And that's why when you continuously use grease all the time, you'll notice your hair is even drier because it's not letting anything in your hair. So leave the grease alone. Keep it out of your hair. Use it for, like I said, your knees, the back of your ankles when you're going out, something like that. But just leave it out of your hair. Number 7, limit your heat usage. You want to, if your hair is very dry and you're using too much heat, the heat can dry your hair out even more. So you want to limit your heat usage to once a week or less. If your hair is very dry, you want to try to really not hardly use any heat at all. Try to do styles that do not require heat, like a set, roller set, rod set, protective style like braids, something like that, where you do not require heat until your hair starts. You'll see it getting healthier and healthier, and it'll start shining more and more. Then you can, gently introduce the heat back into your routine. But you want to use the lowest setting that your hair will allow. And like I said, what I mean by allow is there are certain settings that just won't work on your hair. Like especially for me, if I have very thick hair, so if I try to flat iron my hair on 300, it's not gonna do anything. I'll need to, you know, flat iron the same piece 35 times for it to even look decent. But if I bump it up to like 415, 420, then that, you know, will do the trick. Especially if my hair is like freshly relaxed, I could probably use 375 to 400. But when it's like, you know, 4 or 5 months post relaxer, I need to bump it up, you know, in order for me to just use one pass. So you want to use the lowest setting that is still effective on your hair, and just do it one time, one pass, and move on. And during the week, no touch-ups, none of that. All right, so because the heat can and will dry your hair out if you use it too much. All right, number 8. And the final tip is to limit your usage of hair color. Hair color can also tend to dry your hair out, especially if you're going from really dark hair to really, really light hair. It can have a drying effect on your hair if you're not properly maintaining your hair. So when you get permanent hair color, you do want to see your stylist to maintain it, and so it won't have that dry look, okay? Because like I said, when you're coloring your hair, especially when you're going to a really, really light color, it's taking a lot of the pigment out of your hair and changing it, so it can dry your hair out. So if you don't want that, there are some things that your hairstylist can do to give your colored hair still a shiny look. All right, you guys, those are the 8 tips on how to avoid dry hair and how to avoid making your hair dry. I hope that helped you all. Okay, and I want to thank you all for watching Toya J TV. Be sure to subscribe to this channel, you guys. I really enjoy talking to y'all, and have a good day. Thank you all for watching. Bye bye.